Everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you on a Tuesday evening from downtown Manila. And I've got an awesome guest on the other side of the world. We're polar times apart. She's approximately 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm about 7 o'clock at night. And my guest is a very interesting lady, and she's got an awesome product, guys, that you've got to look at. If you want to make money, you've got to speak to this lady and have a cup. Costs you nothing to have a cup of coffee, guys. Have a chat. So her name is Gillian Utesh. And Gillian is not the CEO, she's a SheEO. Now, don't you guys love that? I love that, guys. She's a SheEO of the Broken Glass ceiling marketing company. Her industry, she's in the SaaS industry, guys, and she'll tell you what SaaS is. For those of you who don't know, some of you don't, so there's no point in talking butterfly language to a caterpillar. She'll tell you what that means shortly. She's been in the industry for quite some time. Her brief description: she provides software as a service solution on a monthly subscription model for anyone looking to grow their network. And that should be you. If you're not looking to grow your network, why are you in business? Interesting fact about herself: her second toe is longer than her big toe. That's an interesting fact. How'd you work that? Did you get a tape measure out or something? It must be a bit of a substantial difference. And the key achievements or projects: custom AI developed SaaS products, personal motto or philosophy: when you know better, you do better. And I got one for you guys: you don't know what you don't know. And that's so true. My coach, that cost me $20,000 to learn that, guys, from my coach. You don't know what you don't know. And if you like anything like Gillian and myself, you try and learn something new, at least one thing every day, and you know more than what a lot of people do. So it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Gillian. How are you today, Gillian?
I'm doing great this morning. Thanks so much for helping me get online and find a time that worked for both of us.
No trouble at all. It's been perfect. Let's get the show underway. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path. Where did it all begin?
I had no idea I was becoming a SaaS developer. I was a marketer by trade for 20 years, loved it, loved engaging with my clients, but I did all my networking locally at the coffee shop or at a local trade show. It wasn't until COVID happened and everything went online and all my clients kind of scattered to the four corners of the earth that I realized, wow, I do not have an online network. I only have a coffee shop network. And so I was trying to get my business back online, and it just month after month wasn't working because I did not know how to network online. It's weird. It's different. Like
Oh,
you have to do it one at a time, reach out to
yeah.
people, versus walking in a room with 25 people and kind of talking to five, talking to five. So I wasn't able to find a company to do it for me. That was my first. I wanted to just throw money at it and
Yep.
have someone do
Good
it
idea.
for me. But I couldn't find a company. And I just kind of, in a moment of desperation, said, well, let me build something. And it just kind of became this manic frenzy. And I stepped back and looked at what I'd built and I thought, wow, I think this will actually work. So it
Awesome.
did help get our business back online by identifying the clients we wanted to go after and then engaging with them. So all I had to do was utilize my human uniqueness to have the face-to-face meetings with them like I am with you.
Love it. Tell us what does SaaS mean? Tell for those who don't know, tell us what SaaS is.
And I didn't know until like 2 years ago myself. It is software as a service. So it is software. So think of something functional like a toothbrush, a hairbrush, something functional. So software that does something functional like that. And in this particular instance, I thought our software would just be a service for entrepreneurs. I never thought it would be a service for literally anyone and everyone who wants to build their network for whatever reason. And your network is your net worth.
Yes.
I didn't realize that until I didn't have it, and my net worth was just tanking month after month. So whether you're an entrepreneur or you're an individual contributor at a larger company, or even just looking to change jobs, it's all in who you know, and you build that with your online network.
Absolutely. What I say, your network is your net worth. So it's pretty true. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that?
Figuring out what I wanted the software to do meaning like what my pain points were. And
Sure.
then kind of from that, just figuring out what's feasible, what makes sense just from a cost perspective. When you're building a software, every button, every action has a cost associated. And some things are less expensive than others. So
Yeah.
deciding, okay, is this mission critical or not? And then when I got it to kind of where I thought it was perfect, then it was being vulnerable and putting it out there for users
Sure.
to use, provide feedback and say, hey, here's how I would use it, or here's how I think it should work. And that was very interesting because it reminded me how different we all are, the different perspectives,
Absolutely. Yeah.
the different lenses we look at life through. So that was just as a marketer, that was very eye opening.
Now, the good thing for you, though, you had that marketing background. So, like me, you'd spoken to 100 different industries. So you knew 100 different problems. So you knew what the common problem was. Well, the common problem for most people, apart from leads, is how to turn those leads into sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can get leads, but not everybody can get sales. Big difference. Tell us an important moment in your career that changed your direction. I guess that's when COVID came along.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And
pretty
and
big.
I realized I had to do things differently.
Yeah.
And for someone who's been doing it for 20 years, that's a hard
Sure.
pill to swallow,
Absolutely.
especially because I had gone through the economic downturn of '08. So
Yes.
when COVID happened, I was chill at first. I said, no problem. I've been through '08. This is old hat for me. I got this.
I've been there.
And it was a completely different struggle. It was a completely different journey back from COVID than it was from '08.
That's
And
right.
so that just kind of humbled me to kind of, when you've been doing something for 20 years, you kind of get a little cocky. You think you
Yeah,
know all
absolutely.
about it.
Agree.
And so reminding me that I have to stay nimble, I have to keep my eyes open, I have to be prepared for change, and
Yeah,
that
be
can be
willing to learn. Be
uncomfortable.
willing to listen and learn, right?
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting. I love your take on all that. That's fantastic. In your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your success?
I think freedom to fail, realizing that, there is no overnight success, even though
Definitely.
it looks like it oftentimes, um, and failing along the way, and then asking questions, being vulnerable, saying, I don't know how to do this. Who knows how to do this?
That's
And
right.
that's kind of how it was. I designed the software in Canva. I'm not a developer, but I knew what I wanted it to look like. And then going out and saying, hey, I don't know how to build this. Who does? Who can help me?
Yeah,
Versus kind of being that just in the past, in marketing, everything I needed to do, I could do myself. So I worked very much in a silo. But moving into the SaaS environment, there was so much about it I didn't know how to do. I had to be open and start working with
that's
other
right.
people.
Love it. I was just thinking of an aeroplane. I mean, it's amazing how a man can build an aeroplane. One guy does engines, another guy specializes in certain type of tires, another guy specializes in the seats, another guy's got the glass.
Yeah.
And then after they build an aeroplane, none of them can fly it. So then you have to have a pilot. So, it's interesting, isn't it? It's all different perspective of
So true.
working as a team.
Hmm.
So tell me, how do you stay motivated? You're obviously self-motivated. You're very passionate. But how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field, Gillian?
I love seeing the software have a positive impact on the
Yes,
day-to-day life of our subscribers.
lovely.
I've had some of our folks have reached out and said, because our software, what it does is it helps you build your network authentically and quickly.
Yes,
And then from there, unless you're selling, pink seashells, it's up to you as the the seller to have a good product and bring it to market. But if those things align, a lot of our clients are able to really ramp up their revenue quickly. So
yes,
we've been
yes.
able to save our clients from bankruptcy. We've been able to help our users get new jobs. I had a guy who'd sent out like 3,000 resumes and just could not get a job until he came on our platform, started connecting with the companies he wanted to work with, and within 3 weeks had his dream job. I love changing lives digitally.
Fantastic. That's a great story. Tell us about a recent project or an achievement apart from that one that you're particularly proud of.
Goodness. I'm going to go into the personal world versus my
Sure.
business world. I've been a guest on a lot of podcasts, and there was a lot of pressure from just my personal circle to create a podcast of my own. But I didn't think I had enough content that who would want to listen
Certainly
to
do.
me for an hour every week. And so I let fear hold me back for a long time. I had no justification for the fear, but it was still there. And then I finally said, I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to just, then I thought, well, if I put it out there for guests, no one's going to agree to be my guest. So I had to get over that fear
Yeah,
of
sure.
rejection. And so I decided to go ahead and do it. And it has turned into, it was originally a passion project that I was doing for my daughter's 18th birthday, trying to put together a collection of just wisdom from women for her to have in
Yeah,
moments
sure.
when she
Nice.
might need that.
Yeah.
And it has turned into just a global battle cry. I mean, the number of women who have reached out to me who want to be on the podcast, who want to
Lovely.
share their story, not only from a passion project, but I think about all the other women who are going to listen to this podcast and hopefully help them or help them understand they're not alone in this moment, with the idea of giving actual tactical, practical advice of what to do in these various situations.
People don't realize your words, how many SheEOs are out there. It's amazing. I know some
Mm-hmm.
awesome Facebook groups. That's why I said you've got to look at these Facebook groups. Some of them have got close to 1 million members. There's one particular one
Okay.
that's right up your alley, and I'll give it to you, to our listeners online. And it's a funny name. I've told some women, and they recall and go, "I'm not going to go there." That's up to them. It's on them. The name of the group is called, it's one of many, but this one's called Like-Minded Bitches. So like-minded
Mhm.
bitches drinking wine. And I get it, you know.
These are my people.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Exactly.
completely.
They're 40 to 60. They're all
Yep.
CEOs. They've had the
I love it.
menopause. They've had the kids. They've had the divorce. They're on their third job or business.
Yep.
They've lived life, and they've got so much knowledge to give, right? And
I love it.
if you can get amongst that group, and you've got so much to give these people, I mean, you've got an instant database there already, you know. And that's just one of, that's why I told you the value of Facebook groups. There's so many women's groups. And interesting thing about this, guys, this is off the subject, but something for you guys to learn. I'll say to someone, okay, I live in Chicago. I've just moved in. I need to know how to get to LA. It's just a serious question, right? And I'll put it on a group. The men will say, "You ready?" The men will say, "Why don't you swim? Why don't you buy a donkey? Why don't you walk?" And all crappy stuff. And a few good guys will tell you some proper details. Every woman will say, "Oh, your nearest bus station is blah blah blah," or you could fly there in 3 hours. Blah blah. Or if you want to take a train, you can get a train. You've got to go somewhere first, then take the train direct. Really help. And then one of them, you'd be real lucky, might even say, "I'm going that way in 2 days' time. If you can wait, I can give you a
I was
lift."
just gonna say.
So how cool is that? So the women really network and help each other, whereas I find the
Mhm.
men just, the ego gets in the way. They, "Oh, why would I? Why doesn't that idiot know that?" Well, you can't know everything. So interesting perspective, and I found that quite a lot. So when I want to know
I love
something,
that.
funny enough, I've got my daughter works with me. I get her to go into the women's group. I don't bother to ask the men. We go into the women's group and we ask the women, and we get the answer almost immediately. So it's
Hmm.
really, so it's just
I
another
love it.
one of our marketing secrets. What advice would you give someone aspiring to follow up in your footsteps? What would you tell them to do?
Just do it. Don't be scared. There's going to be every reason not to do it. You're going to hit every
Absolutely.
hurdle. You're going to hit rock bottom 7 times.
Yeah.
And think that when I was building my business, I think I borrowed money from everyone except the mob and my in-laws. I mean, it was just trying to those were my
That's funny.
boundaries. I was
That's
like,
funny.
I
That's
can't go
funny.
to the hospital, I can't go to prison, and I can't get in bed with the mob. But
Oh,
short of
that's funny.
that, I was willing to do anything from a time investment perspective, from a money investment, from
Yeah.
it just persevere through. And there were so many times I don't I don't want to say that I wanted to quit because I still had such passion for what I was
Sure.
building,
I get it though.
but I would say I was frustrated. I was like, gosh, another hurdle because I
Well,
wanted to get
some
to
weeks it's
the finish
chicken, some weeks
line.
it's feathers, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so keep going. And I'd add to that, as Gillian would tell you, get a mentor, guys. Reach out to people
Hmm.
like Gillian, have a cup of coffee. You'll find it, there's lot of people out there who are willing to, they've done your journey and they're still learning. You're at base camp, they're at the top of the mountain, and they're
Yep.
prepared to send the rope down and help you. So reach out to people, guys. Get a mentor. The worst they can do is hang up. Think about that. What's that? It's like cold calling, but it's different.
So true.
They won't hang up. Most people are very happy to help you if you're sensible and ask the right questions. You
Yep.
know, and so moving along, what's my next one on my little list here? Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, Gillian?
I should have a roadmap for this, but then again, I never thought I'd be a SaaS developer.
Yep.
So my goal is to continue being open to what our subscribers are asking for, and also being nimble to what the software wants to do. So much of this, I feel like I wasn't building the plane while I was flying it. I was figuring out where we were going
Yes.
while
Yeah,
flying the
without the
plane.
blame.
And so just being able to stay in that very fluid place
Yep.
without completely going insane, because the broken glass, she is her own entity. She is driving, she is going where the people want to go. So I just hope I can keep up and stick with it and keep providing the right services.
Yeah, the great thing, like me, Gillian, you haven't got a job, you've got a passion. And when you've got a passion, you're not working, guys. You're having fun. Every day is fun. You have your ups and downs. I mean, guys, you've got to have rain to see the rainbows. So when you're down, don't worry about it. The rainbow's there. Take advantage of it, right? Go and look for that pot of gold.
Mhm.
Um, Looking ahead, we've done all that. How can our listeners and people watching this wonderful podcast, how can they find out more about you, Gillian, and get in touch, that type of thing? What's the best way?
A couple different websites. You can go to brokenglassceilingmarketing.com and learn about our monthly platform, what it can do for you, your business. If you want to go into the crazy shenanigans of my brain, you can go to 𝐰𝐢𝐭𝐡.com. I
Love it.
talk about home organization. I talk about cooking. I talk about all kinds of things there. So you can check that out. We're on all the social channels on LinkedIn, Gillian Utesh, Broken Glass Ceiling Marketing, same on Facebook. And you can also check out a Superwoman Handbook on Facebook as well.
Love that. Love that. And you're going to have a Facebook group soon, aren't you?
I know I'm learning so much, see, every day. This
That's
is
the
why
way.
it's so important to get out of the house in a digital way
Yeah,
and meet people and learn more things.
that's right. We're going to wrap it up shortly, but tell us a fun fact about yourself, Gillian, that most people don't know.
My stress relief is making bows, like bows that go on presents.
Really?
And it came by like accidentally, but I love it because the bows do not have to be perfect.
Yes,
Actually, that had
correct.
the more creativity to them, because that's why I never was a crafter. I felt like I'm too much of a perfectionist. I'd want all the glitter in the right row, or I'd want
Yeah,
everything perfect. But making bows, I just feel so free. And actually, if I have to have a really difficult conversation with someone, I make bows while I do
well, you've
it.
got a
And
room
so
full of
sometimes
bows somewhere, have you?
I really do. Sometimes my daughter she'll come in and she's like, "Uh-oh, you've got the bow equipment out. Who are you upset at?"
That's an interesting sideline. Also, Julie, your wonderful software. Just tell us very quickly the name of it and what it does for people. So people that are watching, because I'm gonna promote this heavily for you. What is it? What's the name of your software and what does it do?
We need to come up with a more creative name, so please submit those in if you have an idea. But we've just been calling it LinkedIn Connector because
Oh
that's
man,
what it
that's a
does.
great name.
It
That's what it
connects
does.
you with people on LinkedIn, and then
Don't
even
change that.
beyond
That's a great
that.
name. Trust me, I'm a marketer.
Okay, okay.
That's a great name.
And after you're connected, it continues to engage because that's the next problem we have as marketers.
Yeah,
Great, we've got this great client, and my staff always says, it's always good to be a prospect, but then once you're a client, so we really
different
try to keep
story.
that in
Correct.
mind. So our prospects, so our clients continue to feel like we're engaging them like prospects. So our tool helps us do that too.
Yeah. Wrapping it up, what Julian's saying here is that you'll become her client and then she'll teach you how to get yourself in front of prospects. Big difference, guys. They're not clients yet, they're prospects. Then Julian will give you some advice, if you like, on how to nurture those people. And nurturing is the key word. I mean, you don't go on a date with a girl and say, hey, come back to my place and spend the night. That doesn't happen. It comes over a sequence, like a 4 or 5, I've got a marketing system where I say to people with a girl, I'll say something, for example, virtual cup of coffee, uh, virtual movie, virtual picnic, virtual 5-star restaurant. Then I get married or take them to bed. My idea being, if I've been on 5 dates with someone, and if I can't hold their hand or give them a kiss after 5 dates, there is no relationship. So move on, right?
True.
Go to the next girl, and that's what
So
marketing is all
true.
about, isn't it? The right connections, move on. I mean, I still leave them in my database, but generally I find, and you find this too, Gillian, people will connect with me within 2 or 3 conversations, right? And I know already, they know and I know, right? It's like a dog. You'll either wag your tail or you'll growl, So that's what it is. So Gillian, I believe you've got a special offer for our people watching our podcast today. What can we expect? How do we find out more about your wonderful program?
Yes, absolutely. When you go to brokenglassceilingmarketing.com, click on the sign up tab, and we will be offering 14 days free on our platform. That way you can see how easy it is to use. You can start to grow your network and honestly grow your mind too, because you don't realize how much of your brain you're using scrolling through, cutting and pasting that you could be using on your business.
Well, I tell people, Gillian, on that point, I'm a marketer of 50 years. I tell people, get a piece of paper and draw a line down the center. On the left-hand side, put all the stuff you're good at and all the stuff you like. Now, you being a woman, on the right-hand side, you might say, I don't like mowing the lawn. I don't want to clean the car. I don't want to clean the pool. They're things, guys, that you can outsource at $20 an hour, and you can be in front of your computer getting $50 or $100 an hour, maybe more, right, doing something you love, and the guy mowing your lawn is whistling. He loves what he's doing too. So it's a real win-win. So don't be miserable, people. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. The best investment you can make is in yourself, by far. Gillian, you've been an awesome guest. Thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been super fun.